weather is not great outside, it's snowing, but you could dare to come. This shows your devotional temperament and a love for God. Beautiful songs and reading, very related to the topic today, the Kalpataru. Kalpataru, the taru is the tree, kalpa is something divine, in English translated as wish-fulfilling divine tree. Some mythological tree, if you happen to go under it, whatever you wish comes to happen. So it's a very interesting thing that whatever you wish comes to happen. Now, is it good or is it not good? That's also a question. What we wish, if all the wishes are fulfilled, is it good for me? Do I wish only what is good for me, or are there things we wish which really are not dangerous for me? So it depends on the wish-fulfilling tree is a great power. But what should I seek from that power? Like any great power in the world, like fire, like nuclear power, anything has two aspects, good and bad. Now, what is the origin of this Kalpa Vriksha or Kalpataru, the wish-fulfilling tree? Once these gods and demons in the mythology, the good people and their adversaries, very not so good people, means those who were gods with small g are the heavenly people, angels, and the devils are asura, the rakshasas, who are very self-centered and very powerful though. So gods thought that this ocean is not explored. And it is said that there are many good things inside the ocean. So how to find what is there? They knew that there are many good things, but they didn't fully know what are good. They knew only there is good thing. So, but it was so powerful to churn the ocean was not easy. So God, these angelic people, were not sufficient to do the churning. So they needed a very huge, the churning central pole with strong rope, which none of the created, the man or God, small g created thing, could do it. So they found a huge mountain, Sumeru, to be the churning pole. And for the rope, they requested one mythological snake, Vasuki, very long, strong snake, can you help us to become a rope so that we turn around that churning thing, stem, and then we pull. But when they found that this is a huge thing, they said, gods alone cannot do it. They went to Asuras and they said, can we come together, though we differ in all our ideologies, but can we come together and work this out, and whatever comes we can share. And there are so many good things inside the ocean, I heard. The Asuras agreed. It was supposed that they will divide the things, whatever comes. So when they were started journeying with all this paraphernalia of two strong groups of people on two sides and heavenly things like the huge, the biggest mountain that could be thought of, Sumeru, and the strongest, the rope-like thing, the snake Vasuki, and all being churned on one side by the angelic people, the devas, another side the devilish people, the asuras, and they thought all good things are there, wealth, it's all supposed to be a lot of wealth inside the ocean. When they were churning, they found first, to their surprise, there came a poison, not any good thing. And poison was terrible, and it was so terrible that it could destroy the whole creation, destroy themselves. They were taken aback, then what to do? They rushed to all those gods like Vishnu and Brahma. They said, we can do nothing, it's very powerful, it's beyond our capacity to neutralize it. Shiva was not there. Shiva was meditating as it is in Kailas. All this Brahma, Vishnu and all these angels and devils, all they went to Shiva and said, Lord, we are in terrible condition, please get out of your samadhi and help us. So the creation is going to finish. So Shiva woke up and said, what happened? Shiva was never in this getting things and all that. He was aloof from this worldly desires. He says, Lord, this hala, the most terrible poison is coming out from the ocean, which we are not prepared for. We didn't know that. We only heard that ocean carried within its belly all the precious things, all the wonderful things, but we never knew that. Just how to do, we don't have any idea how to neutralize that poison. If it spills on the creation on the earth, the whole of the creation will be destroyed. It is so powerful. Then the mythology says Shiva didn't even go, he just stretched his hand and got the halala and he drank it. While drinking also there was a problem because Shiva represents the God and everything resides in God. We all are within God. Whole creation is within God. So if that creation goes inside the God, it means again it goes to the creation. So Shiva had to stop it in the throat. It has to go somewhere. Nowhere was there to go. Where to go? Shiva had to stop it in the throat. It doesn't go to the creation. Again inside going to the creation. So Shiva drank the poison which none of other gods could do. And he stopped it in the throat and it was so poisonous even that God formed divine being, it has showed its effect and his throat became blue. And became permanently blue. That was the effect that halala could do to Shiva, which could destroy the whole world. It was powerful even for the Shiva. Shiva is called Nilakanta. After that, they thought now evil thing gone, now good thing will come. They started churning still, all gathered together churning. While they were churning, they got many nice things started coming out. Came out beautiful horse, white in color, Uchchaisravas. Where did it go? Indra. Somehow everything was going to Indra. Then came out white elephant, Airavata. This also God said this should belong to us. Somehow they were getting all the things. And this journey came one beautiful tree, and this tree was found that whatever you wish, if you go near the tree and wish, it fulfills your wishes. And that is called Kalpavriksha or Kalpataru. Where it should go? Again to Indra, the king of gods, it went there. Now this is the mythology about the Kalpavriksha. There came another one cow, like elephant and horse had come, there came one cow from within the ocean. And that was also divine cow. The cow gave the milk and it fulfilled whatever one needed. It's called Kamadhenu. The cow which could fulfill all you need. It could nourish everyone, it could give milk to everyone, and it could give everything that is needed to you. The Kalpataru, whatever you wish you will get. Kamadhenu, whatever you need you will get. Now Kamadhenu is better than Kalpataru. But where is man satisfied by getting what we need? There are more things we want than what we need. And then we seek for the Kalpataru. But the problem of Kalpataru is we don't know that what we want is important. This Kalpataru comes in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. In case of Sri Ramakrishna, on 1st of January 1886, the year he would give up his body and become more approachable to the whole world. He was not confined, he is not no more confined in one body. He is everywhere. He just released from that body and he is now available to everyone, everywhere. That is the 1886 year on 16th August. So the incident that happened on 1st of January 1886 is called, as if Sri Ramakrishna became Kalpataru. What did happen? He was sick, he couldn't walk or move, he was very sick with cancer, throat cancer progressing, and hardly he could talk. Some days he was to be very ill, some days he was to be better. On 1st January, somehow all devotees had gathered, it was a holiday. About 30 people had come, and they were all sitting outside the ground. It must have been a nice day. It was winter time in India, so good. And they were chatting, and Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. Suddenly they found around 3 o'clock, Sri Ramakrishna is feeling better, and he said, I want to go to the garden. He came down to the garden, everyone was so happy and surprised to see Sri Ramakrishna walking. They all were praying for his health so that he survives. This cancer doesn't take him away. He was suffering so much. And all were just glad to see Sri Ramakrishna walking. And he walked towards the devotees where they had gathered on the grounds. Getting near this, he saw the people that are sitting. And he asked Girish. They came to bow down, and he asked Girish. Girish came to bow down to Sri Ramakrishna. He said, Girish, what do you see in me that you say all this? That means Girish was one of the few persons who said Sri Ramakrishna is incarnation of God. And he said, what do you see and understand that you say that I am an incarnation of God? He doesn't say fully I am. He says, what do you see and understand in me that you say all this? So that was a big question to Girish. So Girish has to now explain why I call you incarnation of God. There were others, Ramchandra Datta was there. There were many who literally believed that Sri Ramakrishna is not an ordinary man. He is definitely God incarnated in human form. There was deep faith. Our Bhairavi Brahmani had already explained that a few years ago in Dakshineshwar. She said, Sri Ramakrishna is not ordinary man. The experience of all these incarnations is already seen in Sri Ramakrishna's thing. What Radha had in her mind, what Chaitanya had experienced in her life, I can make from Sri Ramakrishna's life, those things are there. So, big gathering of the Pandits were there, scholars were there, and Bhairavi Brahmani debated, and it was proved that Sri Ramakrishna's incarnation all said, he is not an ordinary man. And Sri Ramakrishna, what was he doing? He was being elevated from a priest to God. And how great is that reward? Nobel Prize and all those things do not count at all. From man he was being elevated to the status of God. And the assembly has agreed upon that. And what was Sri Ramakrishna doing? He was also there in the assembly. And he was just sitting like a small child. What are they talking about? That's one sign of God. No ego. No ego. And this Girish Ghosh, Ramchandra Datta, and other devotees, and Yam, if you read in Yam Gospel, how he slowly comes to understand how great was Sri Ramakrishna, from man to first ordinary monk to the holy man to great sadhaka to finally he says, he's not simple ordinary man. Gradually in Gospel, if you go on reading, you'll find how idea of Mahendranath Gupta is gradually transforming to understand Sri Ramakrishna as Sri Ramakrishna is. Now this question to Girish Ghosh was, why are you saying that? What do you understand of me? Exactly that Girish Ghosh said to Sri Ramakrishna. How do you understand you, O Thakur, O Sri Ramakrishna, whom Valmiki and Vyasadeva could not fully describe and understand? Valmiki was the one who described about Rama, and Vyasadeva who was described about Sri Krishna in the Bhagavatam. So they failed to fully describe and understand you. This I am a simple ordinary man, this Natuke Girish, the one who is dramatist. I write drama and act in the theatre. I am that simple person. What can I know about you? That simple assertion and simple acceptance of that, I cannot fully know. But you are definitely, I am convinced you are God. And he offered whatever flower was there, and all came and started doing pranam and touching his feet, and Sri Ramakrishna immediately went into ecstatic state. Then he said to all of them, can I say more to you? I bless you all that you may be illumined You may have spiritual illumination. You may have purity of heart. You may achieve what you are seeking to achieve in this life, spiritual realization. This blessing from him was great powerful. And this, as he gave to the people what people were seeking in the deep core of their heart, that's why it is said he became like a Kalpataru. He gave what the people sought, what people desired, what people wished for. And that was final wishes were given to them. We all know in our life that we have many desires, many wishes. We want this, we need this. But deep within our heart, those who are devotees, we want God, nothing less than that. We want to have vision of my Ishta. I want to be with him. I want to be with her. I want to talk. I want to converse. I want to see the bright, glowing, the face of my Ishta. That is deep-seated desire in every devotee of God. Whether it is faint, whether it is not very clear, but it is there. We all know we want God. Nothing of the world will satisfy. We may have other desire. I would like to have a cup of coffee in the morning. I would like to go in the nice time to go in the park and in the spring season. I may want that, there should not be that so much of snow and ice storm. These are all comes of the desire, but those are the secondary wishes. But deep, that wish is there, and that is our final wish. And that wish was fulfilled by Sri Ramakrishna that day. May you all be illumined. That was his blessing. And one who can give that sort of blessing and that sort of experience is nothing but Kalpataru. Another idea about Kalpataru is, if somehow you could go near it, you don't have to do anything to achieve that thing. The only thing is, go to Kalpataru and everything is achieved. To realize God, how much is to be done? The Shastra say, you have to acquire so many qualities. Then only you may have the glimpse of God if God wishes. But go to Kalpataru, I want to realize God. God wills. That is the power of Kalpataru. And that was Sri Ramakrishna had become, that you all be illumined, spiritually illumined. May you have the realization of pure consciousness. Tumadir Chaitanya ho. The Chaitanya is consciousness. May you become illumined with the consciousness of the self, that you are divine. That was the thing. And what was the reaction? Reaction was, whatever the person was trying to achieve, that he got. Some was doing japam. He finds he continually doing japam after that. It automatically comes. He finds joy in japam. Another person wanted to have to meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, Vaikuntanath Samya. And after that he found Sri Ramakrishna is everywhere now. He blessed, and wherever he sees the smiling, benign face of Sri Ramakrishna. He sees on the trees, on the buildings, on the work, Sri Ramakrishna is never leaving him. That sort of grace was given. That's what I said, the devotee's ultimate wish is to converse with Sri Ramakrishna, be with Sri Ramakrishna, that the God never leaves him. Like that person who was walking on the sand, storm day, Lord, may never leave me when I am in good time, whether I am in storm, the sandstorm, please be with me and support me. Like that we always say, God be with me. And Sri Ramakrishna, he finds always with him. Vaikuntanath Swami, he found later, he was going to work, he finds Sri Ramakrishna always there. And he finds him work was suffering because of that, become more spiritual, but still that some desire was there, that minor desire, and he emphasized that, and later regretted that. He prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, Lord, enough, I cannot now work in office. I am always with you, see you everywhere. I find no interest in the things of the world. But how will the world run? He said that vision was gone. And later on he regretted, what a fool I was to say that. You please take away the vision of yours. Once one lady came here and says, Swami, do you have any mantra so that I forget this mantra? I said, what mantra? I always repeat the name of Krishna. Every time I find this coming up from inside, Krishna. I said, why should you forget that? We try that and we don't get it, and why should you forget that? That's so important. Go on doing that. You have been blessed by Krishna that you repeat that mantra and it comes to you. I told that. But after that, The lady didn't come here. She was not satisfied with my answer, and she didn't find the real importance of that, what was happening to her. That was the grace of God. You don't really want that, but when grace falls in that way, we are not prepared to catch the grace doesn't work. That is the problem with preparation to have the grace of God. You go to the Kalpataru and you don't have any such good wishes. Or rather, dangerous is you have selfish wishes. These asuras. Asuras, the devil persons, very selfish persons, very worldly persons. They did lot of austerity, one-pointed concentration, thought that by the law of the concentration of mind, to realize God, to see God, to have God near them, the God comes. Because that is what the law is. If you have full attention, giving up everything, you have full attention on God and meditate on God and austerity, God will come to you. Now it depends how much the desire, selfish desires were in you. If selfish desires were not removed, you go to God and then what do you ask? Those desires come up and say, make me immortal, make me the king of this big area, all those things comes. Like in the language of Swami Vivekananda, going to God and asking for potato and tomatoes and eggplants. When you go to God, do you want a long life or do you want the big area to become a landlord? What do you want? Those are small things compared to God. When we go to God, we should seek the purity of heart, love for God, service to mankind, friendliness to everyone, positivity in every thought. That sort of thing we should ask from God. Then you go to King and you ask the greater things. When the asuras were that way, so it depends on what we seek. So the purification of mind is very important. That is one thing. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, grace of God is always there. Kalpataru, it's always there. Not that Sri Ramakrishna became Kalpataru on 1st January and he blessed. His blessing is flowing. Now also is there. If it is today, 5th January 2014, like 1st January 1886, Sri Ramakrishna is still there. May you be illumined. But are we ready to get that grace and make it effective in our life? We are not prepared. We don't seek that thing. That's our problem. So our problem with our mind, otherwise grace of God is every day there. One person wanted to cross the river and had that sailboats. But how to do that? He doesn't know how to cross this. Oh, no, I don't know how to cross. And unfurl the sail. Breeze is blowing. It will catch the breeze and it will cross the ocean, cross the river. What this unfurling the sail was, if you don't do that, how will it happen? You have to have that much thing. Go near the Kalpataru and wish for something that you need. So even before Sri Ramakrishna was called the Kalpataru, that's why Sharadananda says, Sri Ramakrishna didn't really become Kalpataru. Kalpataru, the Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree, is a concept where whatever you ask, it will be granted. There is a story that one person went there and he found something, he desired arrow something, I feel so hungry, where I have to get food, I'm feeling so hungry, if I could find some food near. Suddenly the food came. Food was there in front of him. He didn't know that it was the Kalpavriksha. And then he said, he ate nice it was. After full feeling himself, then he said, I'm so full now, if somehow I could get a nice bed, I could take a nap. And the bed was ready. After he was to rest, after that he said, it seems I am under something that fulfills all my desires. What will happen if tiger would come and eat me up? Tiger comes and eats you. That is the danger of unpurified mind and getting the blessings and boons of whatever you want, you will get. That is really the state we are. We need not have that type of thing. And Sri Ramakrishna is never that. He will not give us what we will suffer from. Even if we pray, God Thakur give me, he will say, no, that is not for you. That much care of devotees he will do. That's why Swami Sharadananda said, Sri Ramakrishna didn't really become Kalpataru or wish-fulfilling tree. He rather revealed himself, self-revelation, by bestowing fearlessness. Don't be afraid, I am there for you. If we could do that, if we could conquer fear, then we have achieved everything. The beautiful song that was being sung, that mind please remember the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna. That's the Kalpataru. If our mind automatically flows to our cherished chosen ideal, that is the Kalpataru. You think Sri Ramakrishna's feet. The feet saying that remember feet doesn't mean only you think of feet. The thinking of feet, being devoted to feet, offering to the feet always mean that how much close you are to the ideal that you represent, that you choose as your chosen ideal. Sri Ramakrishna's feet means what Sri Ramakrishna stands for. Love for God, purity, truthfulness, service of humanity, accepting everything. That is what Sri Ramakrishna means. And worshipping the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna, putting our mind in the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna, it means that I am closer to you. That is what the Kalpataru is. Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel also describes about the Kalpataru. He says, what is Kalpataru? The tree is mythological, but real Kalpataru is Mother Kali. And he sang this from Ram Prasad, who said, mind, let us go to that Kalpataru, Divine Mother Kali, the wish-fulfilling tree. And in the Gospel, page 327, last visit to Keshav, it is there. The song says, come, let us go for a walk, O mind, to Kali, the wish-fulfilling tree. And there, beneath it, gather the 4 fruits of life. Of your 2 wives, dispassion and worldliness, bring along dispassion only on her way to tree, and ask her son discrimination about the truth. Going to Mother Kali is to get the truth, the reality. And every one of us have 2 aspects. One is passion, one is the dispassion, and one is the worldliness. When you are free from the passion, you want God, you want something permanent, you want something holy, and there is worldliness. So this thing our mind always waver. In the reading it was said, with Girish, you see, the human beings always waver from good to not so good. Sometimes you are very good and you want to love everyone, you are very nice to talk. Sometimes you are angry, somehow you are not in that mood. And your behavior totally changes. This wavering from good to bad, from better to worse, that's always there in us. So he says, Ram Prasad very poetically says, of your 2 wives of dispassion and worldliness, don't bring worldliness. If you bring worldliness to the wish-fulfilling tree, you will seek only worldly things, which will not really satisfy you. So take only the wife dispassion with you. You don't want anything, you are satisfied. Bring that dispassion. And ask to her son, when dispassion with you and with that wife has come, you have been born son, the son is called discrimination. And ask the discrimination for truth. That Ram Prasad said in the poem. Sri Ramakrishna had to describe that. And he said this about in the reading was there, monks are like the honeybee, which alight only on flowers and gather only nectar, and other persons are like fly, ordinary house fly. By their saying monks, it doesn't mean only monks. He said monks means those who have pure heart. Monk doesn't make one by wearing gerua, doesn't make monk. And one by wearing ordinary householder dress is not the householder. It depends on how the mind is. There's one beautiful song which says, oh yogi, you have done a great mistake by coloring your clothes. You should have colored your mind first. What become monk is the heart has to become monk, not the clothes. Clothes don't make monk. So there when Sri Ramakrishna distinguishes between householders and monks is that. It's not the literal monk who have the robe of a monastic person, but those who are pure-hearted person. You can call monk-like person. Monk-like person in a householder, monk-like person in the monks. Not all monks may be a monk-like person. So just wearing Gerua doesn't make a monk. So that Sri Ramakrishna says about the monks are those who always think of good, who have established in goodness. Those are the monks. If any person can establish in the goodness, that person is the monk. And Sri Ramakrishna described this song in the Gospel I read. By turning the mind within oneself, one acquires discrimination. That is what going to the wish-fulfilling tree. Turning the mind within oneself. Our mind is always outgoing and thinking about so many things. Think about who you are. That thinking about yourself is just not that what will I achieve and what will I do. Not that who am I? Think about that. Not that how will I give cure, I now have knee pain and there is back pain. Not that is thinking about myself. Thinking about myself is who am I? By turning the mind within oneself, one acquires discrimination. Then he starts saying that who am I really? Just start thinking who am I? Then comes the discrimination. I am not. This body will come after that. And through discrimination, one thinks of truth. Ramaprasad says, ask the son of your wife, Dispassion, whose name is discrimination, about the truth. Then the mind feels the desire to go for a walk to Kali, the wish-fulfilling tree. When you have that discrimination and a question for truth, then you will like to go to God and want to know the truth. What is truth? Reaching that tree, that is to say, going to God, you can, without any effort, get 4 fruits, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. These are the 4 things that people want. Dharma, Artha, Purushartha, 4 things that people want to achieve. One is Dharma, or the righteousness, Artha, the possession, the wealth, Kama, the desires, fulfilling the desires, and Moksha, the supreme salvation. Yes, after realizing God, one can also get, if one so desires, Dharma, Artha and Kama, which are necessary for leading the worldly life. Moksha, also one will get, but if one wants, one can get all these 3. So that is about what we really want. And in 482 again he says the advice to Pandit Sasadhar, Sri Ramakrishna says, God is the Kalpataru. One should pray standing near it. Then one will get whatever one desires. The problem is getting to God and thinking about God is easy. What we desire, that is very important. They say that these desires make us restless. There are 2 kinds of restlessness of our mind. One restlessness is born of desires for worldliness. We want this, it doesn't happen, we want so many things we have in life. Of you see, wish list if you put, it will be so long. So it all doesn't fulfill and it makes us restless. There is another kind of restless which comes when all our desires are fulfilled. Desires are fulfilled and still you are restless. And that restlessness is restlessness for God. You don't want anything of the world. What you want God. And you have not yet achieved that. That is viraha. That is the sweet pain of not finding God. In that you are so eager to see God. When Sri Ramakrishna rubs his face on the ground and says, Mother, another day went. It's already evening. I couldn't see you today. That is viraha. No other desire in the world. Only one desire. I want to see you. Born of tremendous longing for God realization, second type of restlessness. This comes only when we desire for worldliness is eradicated. In our common term, we say the normal person is one who lives a normal life. We say, if one is mad for God, we say, he has to become mad. Sri Ramakrishna said that madness is needed. The song he said, Mother, make me mad for thy love. That is the real ideal, I'm saying. And this, who is the normal person is not really the person that we think that we should be that way. Getting up early in the morning, having a cup of coffee, working for something, rushing for office, coming back and sleeping again, getting for... This cycle of the thing is for limited time. But that is not the ultimate goal of ours. Ultimate goal of ours, this is a phase of life, and that we do to make our living, but our aim to have the devotion for God increased. And Sri Krishna says in the Gita, you see, Arjuna says, why people are so restless? Why even good people fall in trap? So Sri Krishna says, it is because of the mind. And mind, when it is not pure, there is the desires which make them really suffer. Though they achieve everything in life, but they will not be happy and peaceful. The peace and happiness doesn't come with the success and achievement in life. It comes through calmness of the mind. And many people, though achieving everything, suffer a lot. So when Arjuna says, why people suffer? Then Sri Krishna says, you know why? People, when they think of possessing some worldly things, then the root starts for their suffering. Dhiyato vishayan pungsah sangaste shubhajayate. You start thinking, deeply thinking. So many desires come in our mind. If you let that go, there's no problem. If some desire stays, I want to buy this t-shirt. Something came, you saw a nice t-shirt, it will be nice, look like. But it stuck to your mind and you are now meditating. Went home, that was really good t-shirt. Then again today, why to spend money? I have 50 t-shirts in my room. That was really something different. You are thinking that. Now we have dhyana, dhyayato vishayam. So the man has started meditating, deeply thinking on that, and the problem starts there. Maybe t-shirt you can buy. But you see some nice expensive car, you see some good big house, like that, what you have started meditating, thinking again, and you cannot possess that, and then the problem comes. What problem comes? Sri Krishna said very psychologically, when you dwell upon sense objects, anything is sense object, anything like that is sense, small and big, nice flower to big house, anything is sense object. The person becomes attached to them. This attachment comes, sangha. And after that what happens? You become always thinking of that. You have become possessed with that thought. That comes with the object, that comes with desires. Then that person conceives a desire for it. Now that person really wants to have it. Now not that every desire is fulfilled. You can buy a t-shirt for what, $20 or $50. But what about buying a big house worth $2 million? That will not be fulfilled. And you cannot let go. If you let go, I don't need that, I just like that. That is fine. But the problem comes when you are possessed with the idea of desiring that and having that. Like the 7 jars, that the story of Sri Ramakrishna. One person got in the forest, was going, and he got 7 jars. Opens the big jars. In the deep forest, he opens the jar, all gold and precious metal full to brim, real thing. And he opens another jar, all full of gold ornaments and diamonds and ruby. All jars, he was so happy to find no one was there. He possesses now everything. He opens all one after another. Opens the 7th jar, my God, it's just half full. All 6 are full, the 7th jar is half full. Now he brings at the dead of night, and secretly he brings all big jars at his home and puts there. Now the desire came, I want to be rich with 7 jars full of gold. So he wants to fill that 7th jar also. So he feels satisfied. Whatever the ornament his wife had, he puts there. Opens the lid, jar is not at full. Then whatever he could, had money, he bought other golds. Put there, it's not full. Then he started borrowing money from people. I need some money, emergency, that I need urgently, can you give? He borrows money, puts there. It is not filled up. Now he's on a deep loan and nothing filled up, all money gone, saved money gone, ornaments gone. The jar is not filled up. He was now very frustrated, sad, depressed. He went to meet the king of the thing. He was a barber of the king. And barber used to be a very happy person. They generally talk and they speak and they are very fun-loving person. The king noticed the change in barber. Barber was very depressed, not talking. He was a totally different man. He's a very sad man. He said, "What happened to you? You seem to be very sad. Did you get the 7 jars?" He was, "Lord, how do you know?" "Hare, you were asking me one. I had also gone to that forest, and I also got the 7 jars, and I also had the desire to fill up all the 7 jars, 7 jars also, and I tried to fill it with the coffer of my kingdom, all riches, and it was never fulfilled. What I did after all my troubles, I went again secretly another night. I put all the jars in the forest. So you best to put all the 7 jars and take to the forest and keep that in that place secretly. Nobody should know." You know that 7th jar? King said, it is the jar of desires. It is not the jar filled with gold. The jar of desires, it will never be filled. It can never be filled. You will never say that I am satisfied. I don't want anything now. It will not happen. Just return that. Don't look at it. That's what how the desires are there. And when desires are not full, there comes anger. Not only depression, there comes anger. That's what the Sri Krishna says in the Gita. From thinking of an object, sense object, comes attachment. From attachment comes desire. From desire comes anger. Why should desire come anger? Those desires which are not fulfilled will bring depression and anger. From anger comes loss of memory. That's what the psychologist says. You are very angry, then you start forgetting your possessed with something, forgetting everything. From that, from loss of memory comes destruction of intelligence. You lose the power to discriminate, to think nicely. That is the danger of that thing. From that destruction of intelligence comes real destruction, and that is the destruction of the person. Buddhi nashat pranasyati. You are destroyed, you are no more person, you are now in deep depression. You have to take medicine, you will be cured or not, I don't know. How did it start? It started from simple desire of something which went on because of a meditation, because of a wish to possess that you could not do, and all this thing came. Like a small ball near the staircase. You dropped from the ground and ball started rolling down the stairs. And this dropping was the first desire to have. And after that, you are running it, the ball runs faster and it gets momentum and gets all the way to the ground floor through the stairs. Like that happens when one seeks the desires and is not discriminating. That happens. Human beings have 4 kinds of desires. Basically 4 kinds of desires. What are they? One is lomashana. This is very simply the desire for hair. That's it. But it means a lot. Desire to look good. White hair we keep. You see, so much hair industry is there. So, just recently one news came that Thatcher used to go to so many times to the hairdresser in a year, like 120 times in a year or something. So in her diary it was found. Like that hair is for making oneself looking good. So desire for hair means, with lomashana means, you want to look good, you want to remain youthful, everything comes in the lomashana. You want to remain always youthful, you want to remove your wrinkles. These are the desires a human being have. Second desire is vitteshana. Vitteshana, one want to be rich, possessive, all comforts should be there. Third is putreshana. You want to have progeny. Are connected with that all other desires. Putreshana, this 4th desire. You want, when you die, you want your progeny to continue. I want my son, I want my daughter, I want my grandchildren. This all is there. And the 4th desire is lokeshana. Even that will not satisfy. You want to be famous. You want to be honored by people. These 4 desires human being has, and that has to be given up. None of the desire is fulfilling to you. If we can get rid of these desires, then you feel. During our monastic vows, will we take? we take to give up these all desires. And we offer that. That's the ritual that have. These basic four desires. That's why Sri Krishna said, how to get rid of desires? Sri Krishna said, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to become sannyasi for that. But you do whatever you do for me, not for yourself. You go and work in the office, don't think you are working for yourself. Do it for me. You cook in the kitchen, do it for me. You want to cook best and do it as an offering for me, as if you are cooking for me. You work in the temple, do it for me. You come to the shrine, of course you come to the shrine for Sri Ramakrishna, for God, for Sri Krishna. Sometimes we come for some person also. If I come in the shrine and I do nice flower, and what I am doing for Sri Ramakrishna, or for sitting there, Thakur Ma Swamiji Buddha Christ, I am doing for. But am I really doing for Christ or not? It is our test. I say I am doing for it. But if someone says, oh, that flower was not really that good, you didn't decorate this time that good, am I reacting to that? If I am reacting, that means I have not made it for Thakur. I made it for the people that they will see and praise. No praise or blame from the people or criticism from the people should affect me. Then I have made it for Sri Ramakrishna. And when I do with all my mind and heart and capacity and offer it, Lord, it's for you. What people said, what does that matter? So we become immune to the criticism of the people when we start working for God. That is the taste of whether we work for God or not. That's why Sri Krishna says beautifully that whatever yad karoshi, yadasnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tad kurusha madarpanam. You give for me, you do everything for me. Whatever you do, give the list. Yad karoshi, whatever you do for me. You are working in the office, looking after your children, it's for me, to please me you are doing that. Yadasnasi, whatever you eat, that he said, you do for me. Think that God is there and I am offering it to you. Yajjuhosi, you are doing some rituals, putting on the fire rituals, that's called juhosi. That also you do for me, not for some desire. That's why I offer to God, may God be pleased, nothing for else. Dadasi, you give something to the people in charity, that is also to please me. Not to please the people or not to self-aggrandizement. Oh, I gave so much money, I donated so many blankets, I did so many things, sent so many bikes to Haiti or something. Not for your self-aggrandizement, but for doing that, you are pleasing me. That's called whatever you give, that you give for me. And yat tapasyasi. Whatever you do, your spiritual practice, your tapasya, your austerities, your controlling of the mind, that is also to please me. Not that you want anything else. Your one desire, all desires have gone. One desire, I want to please my Lord. Krishna Hari Toshanam, only to please my Lord, I do everything. That is my goal. If I do this way, Lord will be pleased. I have connection with the Lord. What people say, whether they praise or criticize, doesn't matter. That's what. Whatever you do, offer this unto me. That's what Sri Krishna says. If we could bring all desires and focus it for as offering to God, we are near the Kalpataru tree. Then we find that whatever we should have, and then we are not asking anything. Only I want you, O Lord. That should be the real prayer to the Kalpataru when you go. What do you want? I want you, Lord. I don't want anything else. And when you have God with you, no problem. Everything is settled.